Hey, I want to talk about LASIK surgery 7 years later. So I was sitting here this morning, early in the morning, thinking, and I realized it's been about 7 years since I had LASIK. I'm 47. I had it done at age 40, and yeah. So I just thought, like when I was in this process years ago, I looked and watched a few videos that really helped me, and I thought I'd make something that maybe would help you. So I'm just going to talk briefly about LASIK, and it's been one of the most amazing blessings of my life. Best money spent, $4,000 in my case. I got glasses at age 9, and very extreme nearsightedness. I was like a 4 plus 4, I think, the prescription, so I could see to about here, about 8 or 10 inches in front of my face clearly, and then everything else was blurry. And obviously, that's a problem. Went through glasses, contacts, but it really kind of, LASIK was something that was kind of a new technology when I was in my 20s, so I was not real interested in it. And then, but as through adulthood, the just stuff like if you're swimming in the ocean and your kid's out in the water and you can't see him far away, you can't tell which kid's your kid. Waking up and, hey, like, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I can't see if I don't have my glasses. Anyway, all these kinds of thoughts were always in my head, and it just came down to, for me, it ended up, there just was two reasons I was scared to have this done, or two things rather that would keep me from having LASIK done. One was the cost, and which is prohibitive if you're normal, average salary type person. And then the second thing was the fear, and the fear probably being the bigger one. I didn't have thousands of extra dollars, in my earlier adulthood. But the fear was really the bigger thing, just, the idea of somebody slicing your eye open and shooting a laser into it. What if something goes wrong? All those things. But anyway, the money, to me, it just got to a point right around the time I turned 40 that I just decided I'm gonna find the money and get it together and do this, because it's a life change, and I'm ready for it. And then the risk factor, the more and more I read, I realized this is something that's probably gonna be okay. And for whatever reason, I think each person has to deal with their own fears and like the level of tolerance, and or in terms of the side effects. But anyway, so yeah, so the time came when I decided to get it done, and I did pay a premium. I went back in 2012 or whenever I had it done. They had just come out with a new laser. It's, I forget what it's called, but it was the whole, like, the laser reads your eye, very customized. It was the new thing that they had just started doing in Atlanta. Anyway, it was a more advanced system, better results, all that stuff. And there is a big difference. I want to just really encourage you, if you're thinking about this, between that and like the $1,000 special that you see out there. This is something I believe you do not want to go cheap on. Like, there's things you don't go cheap on in life: shoes, your mattress, and your LASIK eyeball surgery. And so I decided to pay the premium, get the right machine, get people that have been doing it, and man, I'm so glad I did, because my results were incredible. The process, you can watch YouTube videos of all this, and but just, if you know anything about this, you know that you sit down. The process is very short. The whole thing was probably 30-45 minutes. You go in, you can take some Valium if you want, or something to calm you, and then the machine comes down, holds your eyeball in place, and they numb your eye, they cut it, they peel the flap, they shoot the laser, they peel the flap back, they go to the other eye, they do the same thing. You can see everything happening. It's kind of weird. But to be honest, like, with all the fear and apprehension I had going into it, the moment of, there just wasn't a lot of fear. I don't know what it was. I guess I had made my mind up. And like the whole thing took literally about 20 seconds per eye. And I'll tell you, the moment when I got up off that table, I was on the table maybe 5 or 10 minutes total, that's it. When I got off that table, I could see clearly without my glasses for the first time since I can remember. And it was one of the most miraculous feelings of my life. Now again, that's coming from someone who for 31 years needed glasses to see what time it was in the morning on the alarm clock 2 feet from my face. So for me, it may have been more an appreciated or an amazing experience versus someone else who hasn't had decades of needing corrective lenses, you know, and spent as long as I did thinking about doing it. But it was amazing. I still remember that. It was an incredible experience, and this is why I'm making the video. It's still an incredible experience. First year, side effects, dry eyes, had to push through that for a few months, which is normal. And then, you know, around month 6, 7, 8, 9, that subsided. And it was still there in the first year or two, you know, using a lot of drops. But I'm at the point now, 7 years in, probably around the 18-month mark, I got to the point where I was rarely using, you know, the eye moisturizing drops. And I think, you know, to be honest, like, I had never used anything like that before. I think it's less that I needed them because of the surgery. I think it was more that I had gotten used to, wow, it's really nice to have, you know, lubrication in your eye a little more than usual when you wake up and, you know, whatever. And then the other side effect was the hazing, you know, the halos. And that's something that, you know, I just got used to and within a few weeks, and it's still there, but it's not even a big deal. I don't think about it anymore. But yeah, I got 2015 vision, which is better than 2020. And it was just phenomenal. I saw better with LASIK than I had ever seen with glasses or contact lenses. It was incredible. Now, if you know anything about this procedure, you know that in your 40s, I believe the term is presbyopia, the eyeball begins to flatten because you're old, just the same way your face, your skin sags, your eyeball begins to flatten and go from a sphere to an oval. Which is why people need reading glasses. So, you know, I waited until kind of the worst time to get LASIK because I would get less benefits from it. So the presbyopia, again, I think that's the term. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not a doctor, but that's going to happen inevitably, and because of aging, vision is going to fade. So the 2015 lasted the first couple years, and then, you know, it slowly faded just a bit. But I'm 47 now. I can still read just fine. I can still see everything. I can drive. I can't see quite as clearly as I could, but it's probably 90 or 95% there as it was 7 years ago. And again, that's just normal. That's part of aging. I don't even think that's related to the LASIK as much. But, you know, every day, probably every day since that 7 years ago, I think about it, looking at trees, at people, seeing everything clearly. It is a miracle. It is a gift, the gift of modern medicine. It really is a miracle. And I'm super happy. So I want to just throw this out there. I usually do videos about cars and stuff, but I was just thinking about this morning, and I thought it would be cool. Maybe this will hit somebody on my subscription list, or maybe it'll hit someone who's doing research and you'll, you know, just want an honest opinion 7 years later. Is it worth it? Hope this encourages you. Leave me questions if you have them. I'll answer them. And have a good day. God's peace to you.